Hey traders, welcome to the Crypto Lab, second edition. So I got your complaints about the charts, so I apologize. So I will look more carefully to display them in the more visible feature this time. So welcome to the trading analysis, and I hope you will have a nice time with us. Let me just adjust some things here and we can start. Just a small advice. I see one of the traders cannot connect to the crypto data in the multi-wave. So you have to go to the cryptocurrency compare. This is the website, so try to find your AIPK there. It is free so that you can set up the multi-wave to have your crypto quotes running. So welcome to the trading analysis. As you know, this is a team of very exquisite Elliotticians, and we try to use Elliott wave methodology as a lens through which look the markets, and we also use Optima as an additional tool to see the rotation of assets classes. And I must say it's a very wonderful tool which we try to use more and more on stocks, forex and cryptos. So if you are interested in our work, please visit our website and we cover complete cryptos, stocks and forex on our website. So let me dive in a crypto space. As we know, the narrative is starting to be more and more present. The cryptos are moving up and all the world is like Bitcoin is at new all-time highs. But we already know that narrative is slowly building in, so this is not a surprise. The question is how this will unfold in the future, and for the swing trading, will some of the corrections will appear, or are we going to have a straight move on the upside? I'm of an opinion that the straight moves are not so linear and they're not so often, so I will look for some corrections on the way. So let's start with our weekly outlook, and we are tracking some of the impulsive third wave on the upside. So from June 2010 we had the wave 1, a very small pullback in the wave 2, and then we start to subdivide orange wave 3, because every impulsive move on the upside, especially in the wave 3, has also to have a 5 waves in it. So we subdivide this as a 1, 2, up in 3, possible shorter wave 4 or a triangle, and we are now watching the progression on a possible upside targets for the orange wave 3 after we think some type of a usual pattern corrective price action might appear here in the wave 4. It can be a different sort of pattern. It can be a triangle or a flat or a zigzag or a double zigzag. There is numerous corrective patterns that they can unfold here, but I think for my taste probable triangle here is a well solution, but we will see. It's far in the time. So for now we are tracking this move on the upside. So as you can see, the RSI on the higher time frame, so this is a weekly chart, log scale, is very high, and I'm a bit concerned here looking the smaller time frames about this move on the upside, and I'm looking for a corrective pullback, which I will show you on the smaller time frames. Also some of the correlated assets, which I think it's still correlated assets classes like S&P and dollar index, are approaching their respective high and lows, and I think Bitcoin is still poised to react on these reversals very soon. So I will be looking for pullbacks. I don't think this is a done straight move on the upside to even higher prices, and that we reflect on a smaller time frames. As you know, we track several wave counts, and One of these I'm tracking is that this is just a 1-2, and we are just exploring the possibility, as our name Crypto Lab says. We experiment with the different outlooks, that this is actually whole of the wave 1, and I'm looking this as a possible subdivisions in a wave 1 and 2, up in 3, 4 and 5. I'll see a possible pullback and then a continuation. So this is one of the things we are looking, one of the wave counts. So the second one is the possibility that we are in a big triangle in this wave 4, and that this is just the beginning of the initial post-trust on triangle in a wave 1 and 2, and then a continuation on the upside. So I think that some type of a corrective pullback is coming. The question is if this pullback will be relatively big or a smaller one. So for the extreme bullish wave count, I also have some of the solutions drawn out on this chart, which actually portrays a little bit more aggressive Bitcoin wave count, which actually says that we are in a 1-2 wave structure, which is very bullish, and are relatively very, I will not say rare, but it occurs from some time to time, because this one says that this pullback will be very short and that we are going to almost go vertically and continue on the upside in this blue wave 3, and that we will reach some really high levels in the Bitcoin in the 2021 and 22 to come. As you can see, RSI is here on the daily chart. I rarely look indicators, and I look for this RSI only as a divergence between this wave 3 and 5, which slowly we can see here. We can see here that if you pull this line, you will see that here we have a higher highs, and here we have a lower highs. So which kind of suggests that we might be in a possible close, I can say close relation to the reversal. I'm gonna wait for signs, and in this methodology we clearly are going to see these signs appearing on the smaller time frames. So I'm on the watch. Yeah, it's nice, Bitcoin broke, but the question is this price tag kind of a late for an entry, even for a swing trading, or we should look on the other side? And I'm very much watching of what it's going to appear, and I'm very much on the watch with our members and waiting for a possible setups on a smaller trading time frames, so that we can put some trades on the other side. The narrative is becoming more and more fueled. Many of the funds, even in the last week, are designating some of their portfolios into the Bitcoin. As you know, the environment which we live in is pretty much difficult. We have a COVID crisis. We also have a very big debt burden in the financial system. We also have this monetary supply, fiat currencies expanding. And it seems that suddenly the Bitcoin and the blockchain becomes a sudden solution to all of our problems. I mean, I'm just seeing that narrative is building in. And this is, as always with the human nature, one of the excellent things, because we are tending to wrap up our ideas and narratives around the solution in a crisis times, and the narrative is definitely building up. I'm hearing some of the narratives also from the big hedge funds, that we might even see central banks adopting a Bitcoin as the part of their reserves, because it is finite in a supply, and it is digital. We now live in a digital world, and also it is divisible, so you can use it. and it's also an open distributed ledger network on a blockchain. But I also think that there is much of valuable blockchain projects that are coming in, and I'm also tracking this space very attentively for possible longer term investments. So let's look some of the other pairs. We were flagging this for our members on the Stellar, because using the methodology, I'm looking this breakout of this big consolidation there. Let me just put the larger chart, and I see a 5-way move up with a very well disguised flat here, and I'm looking this progression on the upside, and I think possibly pairing that with other wave counts. This is a 1-2-1-2 as well, a possible wave count. So we are looking this as wave 1 down into up in 3, a nice pullback in a wave 4, and a current progression on the upside for the blue wave 1. We track this very closely with our members on our member webinar, and pointed out that this might be a nice possible bottom here on the Stellar. And we are seeing now a little bit more bullish developments, which I think it's going to progress more on the upside. This might be also leading diagonal or some type of a 1-2, and then a progression on the upside. And the situation is same on Stellar. So on Ripple, sorry, I always confuse these two. We also looked this famous 12th of December, when many predicted the crash on this XRP, but nope, it's not going to happen. The same situation, we are looking a possibility to pair this wave 2 with this wave 2. So we are looking for a 1-2 up in 3, 4, and big wave 5. So here we see a nice Elliott wave progression where the wave 1 and 3 are equal, which usually means that the 5th wave will be extended. As you can see, the 5th wave is very abrupt, and I think we are going to see a new highs here before a larger pullback comes in the Ripple. I would ascribe that as a perfect wave 4 pairing with this wave 2 here in the time as well. We use the time dimension, and we came here perfectly, almost as an equality in the time duration between this wave 2 and this wave 4, which we always look to find for the orientation and to see where we are. And from this WXY, a bit more complex corrective pullback, which we also went through with our members, I think that we are now seeing a relatively bullish development here. I will also potentially assign this wave here, this wave 1 here, because usually we stop at the previous B wave of the previous move on the upside. So I would look for some type of a pullback and then also continuation on the upside. One more thing, we also looked for this move, I think last time, in Ethereum Bitcoin cross. We can also see on our relative rotation graph, this is a relatively big time frame. It's weekly for the relative rotation graph, but we are seeing also Ethereum moving into this lagging quadrant, and I think on monthly it's even much more higher. Yeah, it's even starting to go in this leading quadrant. So we pair this relative rotation graph with this wave count, which is now working pretty well. We are looking for 5 waves up in 1, down in 2, and then a very nice progression in the blue wave 3 here, and we identified these levels as a wave count invalidation, which we stop ideally and don't and we didn't cross below it, and from there we saw a very nice impulsive 5 wave move on the upside, and then corrective move played out today. We reached our target for this corrective move on the downside, and we are looking now to see some type of a confirmation on the upside, which will have a 5-wave move on the upside here, and confirm actually that in some type of a movement lower, Ethereum will have an upward hand over the Bitcoin, and it will stage a relatively nice move up in this 5th wave on the upside. So this is in some of the setups we are looking at trading analysis. In crypto sections, the things are for now working as planned. The Bitcoin a little bit overshoot my initial target, but it's good with Elliott wave methodology, which lots of people object on it. You can actually modify some of the wave counts and adjust them, because it is understandable you cannot always see and beat right in the first moment. So we look for this kind of a signposts and confirmations to approve validity of our wave counts, and I like that very much about the Elliott wave methodology. I have looked also in some of the newest projects, which I will show you. So let me see if there is any questions or comments from you guys, so that I can look some of the things maybe you like. Yes, we covered already XRP. Sorry, Felix, we don't cover silver and oil here. This is just a crypto lab, so we are not going to cover forex and other assets classes here, unfortunately. So this is only for a crypto, so don't expect me to go into some other assets classes. Maybe we can change this in the future, but I would rather stick with cryptos for now. And if you like to see anything of more on forex, you will have to be in our membership. So sorry for that for now. Yeah, Ethereum is moving on the upside. As I said, we also have some of the wave counts in Ethereum which are rather bullish. I have showed you this on the last week show. We are still tracking some of the bullish wave counts in Ethereum, but I would like also to focus on some of the projects that I see it's coming in, and they might be a very interesting projects potentially in the future in the blockchain space. I would like first to look some of the wave patterns which are here in I think it's a Bitwise fund. It's a new Bitcoin fund, and as you can see, the price is starting to subdivide very nicely with this. Let me just put you on a whole chart mode so you can see it more easily. So it starts to subdivide very nicely on the upside. So I think this is a beginning move of the price action in this newly established Bitcoin fund, and as we can see, the progression is relatively clear. It is moving pretty nicely, and the subdivisions are relatively clear for now. We also have a nice third wave gap acceleration here, and I think we have a little bit more on the upside to go before some of this wave 3, 4 and 5 still starts to develop, but in sometimes coming in I see also corrective pullback and the first sequence on the upside finished. So I think this is a nice impulsive wave in forming, and who is tracking this, it should be watching this fund slowly developing this impulsive wave structure. And as you know, in Elliott wave methodology, you have a 5 waves up and a 3 waves pullback. And I think potentially soon we might see that, which might offer a potential opportunities in the future. So this is, I think, an interesting wave development. I look this purely from a technical side, and as the narrative is changing in cryptos, potentially this pairs up with this narrative, and it's a kind of a trading vehicle, more accessible to people which likes to be more exposed into some type of a fund or ETF than directly to the price of the Bitcoin. So let's also look some of the other projects. I also looked for a compound, so you can go on a compound and look in a what is actually a compound. So you can find an explanation. It is available. Anything you can find today. So you can go and look at it. So also compound has a potentially. So this is just a potential. I think this one is more developed. Looking the wave progression on the upside, so it looks relatively in a certain stage where you can say that an impulsive move is developing. But this one, I think potentially this is still in infancy. I'm looking this, as I said, from a purely technical side, and as you can see on this wave count, potentially we have a nice 5 waves up on the upside, very sharp, and then we have a nice pullback in a 3 wave zigzag, reaching exactly equality here, which is a nice measured move on the downside, and from there we are seeing a potential 5 waves move in forming. It's still not done yet, so you have to be careful with this one. So there is a wave 1 and 2, and potentially we are moving through the progression to form a lesser degree wave 1, from where we could see a pullback in a wave 2 and then continuation to this first possible target on the upside. We of course don't know in this moment if this will actually happen, but as I said, in Elliott wave methodology there are a certain signpost where some of the wave counts you track might confirm its validity, and we always look for this signpost. So actually we put a hypothesis of the wave counts, and that is the thing that some of the critics in Elliott wave methodology is always bragging about. But as I'm looking this, I always put a hypothesis which are built on a possible sound foundation, and then I'm looking through if this hypothesis of the wave count is going to be confirmed. And if you know the methodology well, you can see that these confirmations are working in a almost a very high probability. So that's how we build our possible trade time frame. And I also want to say to you, lots of people in crypto world are new, and they are kind of messing up the investor and swing trading time frames, which are I think it's good to differentiate. So just a little bit about that. So the swing trading, it's a shorter term trading, so you have to be aware, as the name says, you want to catch only a portion of some of the move on the upside, and your trades will be going for, I don't know, a week or two, maybe a month, 3 weeks, a month, while on the investor time frame horizon you want to hold the assets class more longer. And it's a quite different game, because the swing trading is usually used for a temporary moves, and your objective is actually to look where is the price, so it doesn't matter if it goes up or down. So your goal is to use your capital and profit on a swing moves rather than watch where is the price, how far it went, in a sense of, yeah, we missed it. If you're a swing trader, you don't miss anything actually. Your goal is to optimize and find the portion of these moves and try to catch it and with determined risks. While on the investor time frame, you want to be early and you want to hold for a multiple compounding investor gain. And it's a quite different game. Talking with some of our members which are new, I'm trying to pass this on so that you can differentiate between these two, and I think it's a very valid point to know this differentiation so you can orient yourself where do you want to be in this game. So just a little bit of that. Let me see your questions or requests. I'm working here on multiple frames, so just want to see and address some of the things if you ask. Okay, so as I said, if we look, this wave structure is still unconfirmed. I saw a few things about that. So this, if it tends to develop on the upside, we need to see a clear 5-wave move. So without that, this hypothesis for now, it's not workable. So this is just a working chart. So what I need to see here is a clear 5-wave development and a nice pullback where this chart actually will be then alive for a possible trade utilization. For now, it's not. It's just an observation. I usually tend not to catch the lows. It is not very nice game especially if you don't know what you're doing. Sometimes I do it, I cannot say, I must admit, but you need to have a very well defined levels and the risk. If you try to do that, I like rather in a swing trading to see this type of confirmations and a pullback because the probability in this swing trading will rise on the upside. So it's also a great tool for a risk. So you can very much be clear what is your risk, and you can manage your risk with Elliott wave trading, Elliott wave methodology very nicely. And I think it's a wonderful tool also for that. So I will keep exploring on the crypto space and bringing you some of the new projects and new charts. We will also go a little bit more next time in this stock to flow ratio. Most of these big guys are try to grasp how they will actually measure a value of a Bitcoin, and it's an interesting question, I think. And if you look some of the suggestions as the stock flow ratio or a network effect, because the fact Bitcoin is mined in much of the network, and also its current use. I think you can wrap your head around it. So we need to go a little bit more deeper into these things, how actually you can set a certain signposts and valuations for these cryptos. And I also think that Bitcoin is a little bit hyped. I'm seeing lots of nice projects developing in the blockchain space. So I think you should not just look into Bitcoin. I know it's a media thing, and the current narrative supports it, but I think there is also a lot of other viable projects, and I think you should look into that and don't miss on these projects, because this can be a beginning of this space for many years ahead. I also didn't mention that I expect a little bit more government regulation in the crypto space. I see some of the news in media in the United States, especially controlling the wallets. So this also will be on the table, I think, in 2021, how the usual mainstream government will try to kind of put some of the control in these decentralized systems. Actually, KYC, or Know Your Client, is already in place for the exchanges if you want to open the account on a blockchain space. And I think also from the tax reasons, since we live in a relatively very I will say expansion monetary policy in government end, and the debts are growing, the taxes are going to be welcomed. So now we could see more of this coming in 2021 as well, and we should monitor it and address it properly, because they will pose a certain risk and they might cause some corrections to come. Okay, so that's, I think, will be it for this time. We have presented few of the main cryptos charts, some of the local ones that we are looking. So I think for this time this will be enough. Anything else, guys? I'm just looking your comments here, trying to see if you put any requests or comments. We already looked XRP. No, I didn't. What is the BBTC? Can you tell me, Lee? It's some type of a fund, or as you know, there is a different vehicles now appearing more and more. So if you can just type me what is, or I will find BBTC, and I will look to it for the next time, Lee. No problem. I hope this time with the charts this worked. There were more on that they were off. So we will go next time more deeper in Ethereum. So I don't want to cover whole of the crypto space. We do cover more than, I think, 20 to 25 cryptocurrencies, and we focus on a market cap with our members. Our webinars are usually weekly webinars, are 1 hour, 1 hour and a half, even 2 hours. We need time to cover with the wave counts all of this space. So we will need much more time to go deeper in the rest of the space. So I will try to present a few ones to you in this crypto lab, and kind of experiment with the new ones. So please post your thoughts, opinions, insults, as the thought says, or your suggestions where we can add. I want this crypto lab to be with you as a participants as well. So please hit the like button so we can grow, and post your comments and suggestions so that we can lift up the content for you, because this is mainly for you. And I hope I see you next time in the third crypto lab. So see you next Thursday on the same place, and stay well, be healthy, and see you next time. Bye bye.